So I happened to be in Bunnings today. I was in Bunnings and I was thinking about shower chairs and I was thinking, now they've got to be plastic and I wanted something stylish. And look what I found, ladies and gentlemen. I give you this, look at this. Now that right now is on trend, right? Beautiful sort of natural, like a tree-like mold. Now you might go, well, that's too big for a shower chair. I know, I get that. But what I want to point out to you is that that style is already in existence. What if you got that idea and you got a product designer say, I want you to make a shower chair inspired by this chair which I bought from Bunnings for 70 bucks, right? I want this kind of thing with the open, beautiful, natural looking back, but I want you to mold it and make it for this purpose, right? So you could, if you wanted to, you could get the base, the legs from a shower chair supplier, and then you have the top bit sent in from whoever makes these to your leg supplier, or you could sell this as a one-piece, non-leaking, non-manky-legged thing. You just need to get some rubber stoppers on the bottom and you could sell it. Now that's going to visually stand out. There's not a shower chair on Amazon anywhere close to how this looks, all right? So there's another example of retail arbitrage. So this is a product, for example, that I wouldn't sell right now. Now, when I say wouldn't, right, the reason is that this is just a hyper practical buy that has very specific function. Now, there's not a lot engineering-wise that you would want to mess around with on a product like this. I personally would probably stay away from this as well from a safety point of view, because people are going to put their car on this and then lie under it. So I would probably stay away from it for that reason, right? Because it literally has warnings all over it. You would have to get this tested and engineered and all the stuff. And it's such a simple utility that I really don't think there's a lot of opportunity for a product like this. Now, the reason I picked this product is because I was interested in it. So what these are, is these are a natural mosquito repellent. And when I went to Amazon to check them out, I looked up the specific phrase, natural mosquito repellent, because there is a huge section of the American consumer base now that is literally searching using the word eco, natural, and organic. It's like a subset of many, many products that are on Amazon today. And the reason I liked it as well is it's very small, right? It's easy to ship a ton of these. You could air freight them if you had to. You could start very small with these. Now these particular ones, let me have a look here. I've got all my notes. Where are we? Okay. These are doing $2,000 US a month. If I look at that, I don't know if you can see that very well, it's okay. It's okay from an eco-conscious point of view, but it doesn't really look to me like an eco-conscious product. I would, if it was me, I would have this in a recycled cardboard box with plain black print on it, right? So it looks like the type of product that hippies make, right? You know, when you go to like the organic supermarkets and all that sort of stuff, they have this look about them, and that's not it, right? This looks too commercial to me. So I would come up with a name, maybe like Santalum Estate, except Santalum Estate to me sounds like a wine, right? And especially with the tree logo. So I would probably come up with something like Eco Sticks or something like that, something that's more environmental. I'd probably go with a more muted branding and look of it. And that's what I would do, right? All right, let's change gears and go over to these bad boys. So what am I holding up here? Have a look. I'll just tilt them down. These are called construction safety caps. The good news is there's not much competition at all. There's only a few brands selling here. Now they're all yellow. Every single one is yellow. So cool, yeah, yellow's bright, it gets noticed, but could you do anything that could be a little bit different to take this over? The good news is at $1,700 US a month, before we laugh and write it off, right? Very simple product, not going to break down, nothing can really go wrong with it, very simple, unlikely to have a high refund rate. In fact, I'd be surprised if you got refunds at all, right? Because you're selling for a very simple reason to a builder. He just wants to put them on his stake so he's compliant with his safety obligations and move on. So think about what could we do? Could we put a little reflector on each one, right? A little reflective sticker. Just that little bit of differentiation. They're all yellow. They say, oh, what's that one with that silver bit? And you say, oh, they've got a little reflector on each one in case people go on site at night with their car or with a torch. All right? That's just a quick idea off the top of my head. Could you put the brand name, or could you put warning, or, you know, just think about it. Just think for a minute, what could I do and how difficult would it be to test? Because if you knit, right, I said $200 a week profit. If you knit 10 of these little sets of things together like this, that's $2,000 a week profit, right? Of little products that nobody's ever going to pay attention to, unlike big competitive categories. All right, let's keep moving. I'm going to jump over to something different here. This one here, I'm going to hold it as close as I can to that camera. Hopefully you can see that. There it is. All right. This is called the Ultra Seal Pack Cover. So what this is, people who go camping and put those big backpacks on, you know when you see backpackers going around the world? This is a cover, a rain cover that goes over their backpack to protect it from the rain. There's a few reasons that I really like this product. Number one, hard to break, right? You can't break it. Number two, it's small. Those things are great, right? Light and small, which means I can send 1,000 of these on a plane if I had to get them there quickly, and it's not going to cost a lot in shipping. Now, this particular brand has done a really, really nice job. So the brand is called Sea to Summit, right? As in ocean, Sea to Summit, and their logo has like a big iceberg. So they've branded this really well. The name of the product, the brand, fits the product itself, right? So the brand fits the product. It makes me think these guys are specialists in outdoor goods. Good job, right? The other thing they've done well is on the end there, you can see they put their logo on the end of the packet. There it is. You can see they've done a really, really nice job of that. And they've got a nice color thing going. This orange and this black together, nice contrast, looks like it's a proper outdoorsy thing. But what's really interesting about this is when you open it, it opens up into a big piece of real estate, right? So what that means is you can visually differentiate. Now, as it happens, most people have gone for the safe bets. They've gone for bright orange or they've gone for green. Somebody went for camo. One person went for camo. Lots of black, right? One person came up with such a cool logo that the logo is the feature on the back of it. And that one is selling extremely well. The average one of these is doing $2,800 US a month. You need to look out there into the universe of product makers and look for the best in the world of people who work in the fabric or the material that you are working with. Now, what comes to mind to me is what is the most competitive market in the world when it comes to fabrics, right? Clothing. Right? Clothing is super, super competitive. And in particular, what about outdoor clothing? And think about Nike, and think about Under Armour, and think about Reebok. Ask yourself the question, thinking about a Nike shoe, what would Nike do if they were making one of these? Would it just be the plain with a Nike on it? Maybe. Would they have maybe a breathable mesh side? So that you got the plain sort of nylon piece, and then the sides looks like the side of a sand shoe, so it sort of looks breathable. I don't know. I'm not sure. But could you borrow some of the design technology from a sand shoe and apply it on this? Now, while we were talking about Nike, I'm going to lie that one down there because I need to pull this out. This here is a very competitive category. I'm holding it up because I wanted to point out two things. First, I'll just tilt that down so you can see better. There you go. So the first thing I want you to notice is most people photograph products like this without this piece on it. They photograph it like that on Amazon. And so when you look at them, they all look like black blobs. By simply adding this little sleeve, which you can completely, within Amazon's terms of service, photograph, look how much that sleeve, especially if it was on straight, look how much that sleeve makes that pop, right? That just pops now. It's got the bright green. You've got a big claim on the front about what it does, right? That is a way in some categories to immediately and cheaply visually stand out by including the wrap, right, in the photo. The question I would be asking is, who makes products made of fabric? Again, I would go to Nike, Under Armour, and so on. Nike and Under Armour do incredible looking products. They're hoodies, they're runners, look at the singlets that have the one material here and the mesh on the side, right? I would be thinking about that over here with a product like this. Thinking about what angle could I find to make this visually stand out. But you want to get a name that's tightly aligned with the product, okay? So that is a big category, and you should spend more time really thinking about how can you make it look sportier, more comfortable, more orthopedic. Really drill into it with some smart people and come up with something that's different visually in a way that people like, and look to the world's leaders and think about it through the lens of, if Under Armour made one, how would it look? See this thing here? This is a stopper. You know how I thought of this product? I was driving into the car park at the front of our factory here, and I went, there's a car park stopper. I wonder if they sell on Amazon. Well, when I was in Bunnings today, I saw it again in Bunnings. So what does that tell me? It tells me that people buy them, because if it doesn't sell, it's not in Bunnings. But these are always in Bunnings. So I was like, okay, I'll go and see how much they are. Well, interestingly, let's have a look here. The most popular one of these is doing $35,000 a month. Pull out your calculator, ladies and gentlemen. I want to work it out with you. $35,000 divided by 0.68, that's 51, nearly 52,000 Aussie dollars a month. Times it by 12, that is a $600,000 a year business of one parking stopper. So before you run and go, oh, you can't change that, it is what it is, stop and think. Enroll the help, because you know what? Not many people are stopping and thinking about the humble parking stopper. And if you do stop and think, I reckon someone will come up with a way to make this thing substantially better. Guys, here you might have put the stripes in a different way so that you're looking to visually differentiate. That is the battle you are trying to win in a way that consumers like. So get an artist to play with the way that those look. Think about it. You will be amazed. You don't have to do it all yourself. Get a product designer involved with the challenge. Challenge other people. Tell them, we want to reimagine, we want to disrupt the parking stopper niche. All right, I'm going to do one more product, and then I'm going to do two more products, then we're going to call it a night. All right, here we go. This one here is interesting. Again, you can see the use of a sleeve. That is good. What is this thing? It is an electrical accessory organizer. It's a little pouch that when you open it up, you put your electrical things in, like your laptop charger, your phone charger, your power adapters and stuff like that for when you travel overseas, and then you put that into your suitcase so it's all organized. The average one of these as electrical accessories organizer search, the average one's doing $9,000 US a month. Let's call it 10 just for easy math. 50 on page one times 10 grand, that's $500,000 a month, $500,000 worth a month of these little bags that just have a little grid inside them. Like, that's all it literally is a grid and like a little few things in here. So how would you make it stand out? Well, there's one on page one that is doing great, and you know what they've done? They've made the insides bright orange, very, like Nike sort of looking orange, that sort of real sporty orange, and the grey and the orange together look fantastic. And the other thing they did is they put really great accessories in it and filled it out to make it look amazing, and they've just really paid attention to style. Think about and pay attention to the details. Could you put like a brown leather handle, or could you put wide piping on there? I don't know. Could you put up better quality zips or something to make it stand out? What could you do to pimp this out a little bit? Again, paying attention to details, but this category is going to be super competitive because they're easy to source, cheap to make, and quite obvious, right? This one here is interesting. I love this one because it's super simple. So this is a floating shelf, right? That's all it is. It's a shelf. In this box is literally a piece of wood, and you just has a bracket, and you screw the bracket onto the wall, and then you clip this onto it, and you get an instant shelf. $23,000 a month for a block of wood, the average one, right? times that by 12, the average one is a $282,000 income stream. At 30 points is 100 grand a year net if you can make a floating shelf that people want to buy. So this is an interesting one. If it is just a plain piece of wood, right, how far can you take that? In this particular type of thing, the battle comes down to photography and configuration. Could you do one that's got one shelf, or could you sell a cube? There's cube ones, there's all sorts. But the ones that were really crushing it, and there was only one that had done this, what they did is they put a rail underneath. They just had a rail under there as well, and you could hang things off it. And the one that had the rail under it was doing something like $300,000 a month. Same thing, but they had that. They had a photograph like that with a rail underneath. They had some tea towels and some coffee hooks and different things. And you could just put on there the rail if you wanted it, or you could have it as a floating shelf. All they did was add the rail. And that addition got them all the business because people said, well, it's more versatile, right? How simple is that? It comes down to styling, lighting, branding, photography, because at the end of the day, all this is a square piece of wood. Hope you enjoyed it. You guys have been awesome. Have a beautiful night. You've been fun. I really do appreciate your time and attention. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.